Hi, friends, I'm Scott Giles, and welcome to Power Talk, my podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I cover topics related to spirituality, hypnocoaching, and the hypnotic arts and sciences generally. If you'd like to know more about my professional work or sign up for my free newsletter, check out my website, which I'll tag at the end of this video. Today I want to talk about what is being humorously described as normal marital hatred. The title is actually the title of an article written by Maggie Jones in the New York Times, writing about a book titled Us, Getting Past You and Me to Build a More Loving Relationship by therapist Terrence Real. It's a great book with an introduction by no less a person than musician Bruce Springsteen. The article was published in the New York Times on the 6th of June in 2022, and I liked it so much I purchased and read the book, which I definitely recommend. Well, here is what to make of the idea of normal marital hatred. The notion is that there are three basic stages in any romantic relationship. The first stage, which therapist Real calls harmony, and which other therapists sometimes call limerence, is a phony but delightful time in any relationship. Both parties are putting their best foot forward, going out of their way to be empathetic and concerned. Being in such of a relationship can actually be a little bit intoxicating because it feels wonderful and empowering and nurturing, but you got to remember that it's also fake. As a minister, I would often encounter young couples in the grip of this state of romantic illusion. Often when they came to get married, oh, I've got a PhD and he dropped out of high school, but everything will be fine because we are in love. The problem is that the parties in such a relationship are actually submerging any issue that might lead to conflict because they want to continue to enjoy the intoxication of this delightful, focused, and burnished stage in a relationship. The problem is this doesn't last. You discover he leaves clothing on the floor, doesn't shave on weekends, has political beliefs that scare you. You discover that she can't cook to save her life. She flies off into emotional fits where you're blamed for everything, including the weather. This is the stage in a relationship that Real calls disharmony. Reality has begun to break through the glossy illusions of the earlier stage in the relationship. It usually takes about 1 to 2 years for a relationship to reach this stage. So often the couple have married or entered into some sort of domestic partnership. The thing to get is that this stage is the normal marital hatred. It's really not a bad thing, although you can hate it because the previous stage was such a joy. The actual bad thing was the shiny illusion of that earlier stage in the relationship where you falsely believed you had met the perfect person. In this stage, you have to accept that there are no perfect people out there, including you. Then you get to make a choice. You can break up and go in search of the next relationship, perhaps becoming addicted to the illusion of finding perfect people. or you can go to the next stage in relationship called repair, where you actually begin to negotiate with your partner and figure out how to be together well. That is, how to move from you and me, two individuals who don't fit perfectly, to us, where you put present problems in the context of a long-term relationship and figure out how to enjoy the good and work around the bad. Or as the character later, Lady Mary Crawley says in the latest Downton Abbey movie, marriage is a journey, not a destination. Or as Real puts it, the sense of the two of you as a team facing the world together. Now, one of the really great things about the book Us by Therapist Real is that he anchors a lot of this to brain structure and evolutionary theory. Being a scientifically oriented guy myself, I really appreciate this. Real talks about two selves that we each have, and he localizes these to different parts of the brain. When that part is active, that part of ourselves is active. The first self he calls the wise adult, organized by the prefrontal cortex in the brain. It's the rational, reasonable part. It understands that no one is perfect. Compromise and accommodation are necessary for any relationship to flourish. The second self he calls the adapted child, localized in the limbic system toward the center of the brain, which controls emotion. This part is self-interested, me and you, not us. It is tied to the fight or flight response in the brain, so that whenever you get scared or angry, this part of yourself automatically activates and takes you right back to the strategies you used as a child to try to get your way, which are almost certainly not going to work in the context of an actual adult relationship. The book is full of advice on how to quiet down the adapted child and keep the wise adult in control when dealing with relationship issues. I do recommend it. Now, obviously, all theories are partial, including this one. You can try to create an us in your relationship and fail completely, perhaps because you have not done your own inner work, or because your partner isn't in good faith and undermines the process. That said, my own long-standing belief is that two good partners can make any relationship work if they want it to work. The key is they have to be trying for a mutual us, to be a team together, not trying for a win-lose model where one person exercises functional control, perhaps by any means necessary. No one can be happy in a situation of ongoing relational guerrilla war. So think about your relationship along these lines and consider Terrence Real's ideas. You'll be glad you did. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject, and I'd like to invite you to join me. It does help me if you let others know about my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe. And if I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through email, my website, or Patreon channel. Stay well and stay safe.